Yo guys, what is good? It's your boy Jalmong here, back again with another video. And today we're going over a pair of sneakers that I've been wanting all year. Alright, first off, if you guys have not seen my most recent video where I cleaned the Hoka Clifton 9s with Rejuvenator, make sure to go check it out afterwards. And if you guys are interested in picking up any products from Rejuvenator, make sure to use my discount code, thereal_JohnWong.yt for 10% off your next order. Rejuvenator really helps, and it helps clean any single sneaker out there. So again, check out my video if you guys have not done so already. But in today's video, we are going over my most recent pickup from a local skate shop. Now, I actually haven't really picked up a pair of sneakers in a while. I know that I got 2 pairs for my birthday, and I also went over a pair of Jasmine's, but other than that, I really haven't bought a pair of sneakers in a good amount of time. I think the last sneaker I probably bought, I can't even remember which sneaker was it. Wow. Oh yeah, so the last pair of sneakers I bought for myself were the Adidas Climb & Cool 4Ds that I bought in Hawaii. So that was all the way in May. So I really haven't bought a pair of sneakers in 3 months. Now, fortunately for me, I was able to pick this up for retail at Labor Skate Shops, which is a local skate shop in Chinatown, which is on Canal Street. At that time, I just happened to be in the area when I got word that they were launching their raffle. So I just went inside, submitted my size and my email, and then a week later I heard back from them saying that I won. The raffle was actually only going on for about a day, so I feel like not a lot of people got to enter. So my chances of winning were pretty high. And I'm actually really happy that I got to buy this for retail because this is a sneaker that I've been wanting all year. So let me just take it out of the bag. I just picked this up the other day and I'm so happy that I finally have this in hand. As you guys can see, this is a Nike SB box. I honestly love Nike SB collabs so much because just in general, Nike SB makes any sneaker more comfortable and more enjoyable to wear, especially when they are collaborating with other sneakers that Nike has that are not necessarily skateboarding shoes. So with that being said, let's take the sneakers out of the box. So we have the wrapping paper, and then in 3, 2, 1, sheesh! Yes, sir! I mean, I've already seen these for myself because I've had to pick them up in person. This is a beautiful shoe nonetheless. We do have the Nike SB Air Max 95s. So in the beginning of 2025, I saw an increasing popularity in 95s. I mean, Nike started launching a whole lot more pairs and they started bringing back a lot more colorways. And I never really liked the Air Max 95s. I always thought that they were this very vintage looking dad shoe. They just didn't look good on people's feet. And I just didn't understand the significance or the hype behind the shoe in general. But after a while, the shoe began to grow on me. I began to understand why people respect this so much. And if you are a sneakerhead, this definitely brings a lot of nostalgia and history to sneakers in general. If you guys are interested in learning more about why the Air Max 95s are so significant to sneaker history, make sure to check out my video right here where I give us a closer look into why in 2025s, the Air Max 95s are back. But in summary, the reason why the Air Max 95s are so popular this year, it's basically because this is the 30th anniversary for the sneaker. Obviously, they released in 1995, and now we are in 2025, and sneakers have just been paying homage to the 95s and how much of an impact they've had overall on sneakerheads in general. So in early 2025, I actually really wanted to pick up a pair of 95s. I wasn't really sure which colorway I wanted to lean towards. I ended up looking at the pink colorway, the pink foam one, because that was kind of like a classic. I really liked the pink on that one. But then I saw this pair rumored to release later on in the year, especially because this is a Nike SB collaboration. I kind of was very intrigued with picking this pair up instead. Now, all year long, I didn't hear a ton of news about when this was going to be dropping, but in August, they made their hard drop that this will be releasing, and I had to go for them. For those of you guys who don't know, Air Max 95s are typically not a very comfortable sneaker. They are more on the firm side, even though they have air units. They're not known to be the most comfy sneaker out there. However, when it comes to Nike SB and their collaborations with these kind of sneakers, they add so much more padding and they make the sneaker so much more durable where it just actually gives you a good experience wearing them. Now, one of the biggest examples with Nike SB bringing a newer take on a very uncomfortable sneaker is the Nike SB Jordan 4s. The Jordan 4s are typically known to be very uncomfortable and chunky. However, when they collaborated with Nike SB, they made the sneaker so comfortable to wear. This is a sneaker that will really feel good on your feet, especially with the different materials that they used. And ever since this released, I have not stopped being a fan of Nike SB. So when we received news that this was coming out in August, I had to go for them. And I especially kind of love the color. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely have not owned a sneaker in this kind of colorway before. So I feel like it's something that is definitely new to my collection. Now, I have tried on a pair of regular Air Max 95s in the past, and I also tried this pair on. And let me tell you, it makes a significant difference. I feel like the sneaker just feels lighter. It feels softer and more plush on the sock lining. Overall, I think that this is definitely something that is more comfortable than your average 95s. And in all honesty, I don't consider myself to be a skater. You know, I don't do flips and tricks, but when it comes to the materials on Nike SBs, they are more durable so that you can skate in them. Now, if you are a traditional skater or a hardcore skater, I don't know how open you would be to wearing these when you go out to skate, but still, this is a beautiful shoe to wear for lifestyle nonetheless. Now, taking a closer look into the Air Max 95, for those of you guys who do not know, the 95s were inspired by the human anatomy. So when we look at the outsole of the sneaker, this is supposed to resemble the spine of the body. When we look at the lace tips of the sneaker, this is supposed to look like the ribs. And then as we look over to the side profile, we can kind of see like this wavy patterning. That's supposed to resemble the muscle fibers. And overall, the upper is supposed to look like the skin. I think it's a very interesting take. I don't think I would have thought of it myself. And you wouldn't really know that this was inspired by the human body unless you did some research. So starting off with the upper of the sneaker, on our toe box, we do have this white dried out suede. Underneath it, we do have this white mesh panel. And in between, we do have this black leather panel that kind of runs throughout the entire shoe. But then as we turn over to the side profile of the sneaker, underneath the black leather panel, now we kind of have like a gradient effect where we have a dark gray and then kind of transitions into a lighter gray. So this is supposed to resemble, again, the muscle fibers of the body. I love that the side profile kind of transitions from darker shades all the way to light. Now, towards the back of the side profile, we do have this embroidered swoosh. Now, the box says that this is in this cactus flower color. However, I would say that this is more so in this light purple colorway. I do really like the light purple overall. I can't really define what shade this is necessarily, but again, it's something that I don't have in my collection. Now, as we move over towards the tongue area, we do have our rib cage right here, which is supposed to be our eyelids. Now, these are in that cactus flower colorway as well. Now, on top, we also have this reflective panel that kind of holds down the laces as well. All the way underneath, we do have a black mesh tongue. But then as we move up towards the top of the tongue, we now see that the tongue is in white in this reflective material. And then as we move into the center, we do have the Air Max logo that is embroidered in. We do have a mix of cactus flower, white, and black in this circle. Moving towards the back of the sneaker, we do have the Nike SB logo embroidered in that purple colorway again on top. Underneath, we do have this reflective material we see once again on the back. And then as we move over to the midsole of the sneaker, we do have this white rubber midsole. And then obviously, to top it off, we do have the air units on the bottom, which we call the air bubbles of the Air Max 95s, which is intended to make the sneaker comfortable. Now, one thing that is different from this pair of 95s as opposed to all the other 95s that have released this year is that with the other ones, they do have a bigger air bubble. So they've actually called them the big bubble 95s. However, for this one, they went back to their traditional air bubble size. I think one thing I really like about the sneaker is that when we look into the air unit, we see the cactus flower colorway again. I think overall, I just love the little accents of purple throughout the shoe. Very, very cool. Now, as we move into the inner of the sneaker, we do have this black sock liner. It is actually very soft. Again, I said that when it comes to the Nike SB, they provide a lot more cushioning to the shoe. Taking a look into the insoles of the sneaker, we do have our insoles in this cactus flower colorway. Towards the back, we do have the Nike SB logo, followed by the Air Max written in white. Now, even though this looks like a very thin insole, I would say it's still very soft. I love the little fibers that is made with the insole. I feel like this makes it very very plushy. And then finally, as we move into the outsole of the sneaker, we do have this rubber gum bottom. Now this is something that Nike SB pretty much does with a lot of their sneakers, especially when it came to the Jordan 4s. We never really saw gum bottoms on traditional models, but we decided to add this on. At first, I didn't really like the gum bottoms. I never really wear shoes that have gum bottoms, but I think it's something that, because it is a Nike SB collab, you just gotta accept it. And it probably makes the grip on the sneakers so much better. Now, taking a look into the middle of the outsole, we do have our spine right here. Now it is in this white rubber material. In the center, it says Nike SB, as you guys can see right here. But then we kind of see a lot of like squiggly, wavy patterns in the shoe. I think it looks pretty cool. Very nice details that I respect a lot. Now, I believe that when it comes to the Nike SB Air Max 95s, they have not released to the general public just yet. I know that a lot of local skate shops have released them, and if you were lucky, you were able to get a pair for retail. However, I believe that the general release is on sneakers on August 22nd. So if you guys are interested in picking up a pair, make sure to set a reminder for that day. Now, they will retail for a price of $185, which is a little more than their typical prices. I feel like the regular pairs are like maybe $170, $180. But nevertheless, I would still say, if you have the money, definitely splurge, because this is something that is worth getting at the end of the day. But the good news is that this sneaker is also not going for a lot on the resale market right now. I feel like they're only going for like 20 or 30 over, and that is before the general release. So I can definitely see these going for around retail or for under retail. Now, I don't understand why, because Air Max 95s have been such a banger in 2025 this year. Who doesn't like a Nike SB collab with them? They made the sneaker so much better. So my question is, why are they going for so low on the market? I thought this would be a very limited pair. But I guess that's a good thing for general sneakerheads like you and me, because now we can have this pair for somewhere close to retail. In terms of sizing, I would recommend going true to size. Even though the Air Max 95s do look a little chunky and wide, I would say they do fit pretty standard at the end of the day. So no need to go a whole size up. I went with the size 10, my true to size, and they fit just fine. But yeah, I would say in 2025, a major change that I've had is just my take on Air Max 95s. If you guys asked me a couple of years ago, I would say that the 95s are looking disgusting. They're just not a desirable shoe that I would like to have in my collection. Today, I have them. I don't know how I switched up so fast, but I feel like seeing a lot of 95s resurface in the sneaker community kind of sold me. So definitely, if you guys are interested in picking up a pair of Air Max 95s in 2025, there are so many different colorways out there, and I would definitely recommend picking them up soon, because they have been a trendsetter for this year. But now I'll like to hear from you guys. What is your favorite Air Max model out there? So you can say the Air Max 1s, the 95s, and 97s. There are so many out there that you can possibly list. So I want to hear from you. What is your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below, because I do want to hear from you. But as always, if you guys like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you guys want to hear more from me, smash the subscribe button, because more will be on the way. Again, these are the Nike SB Air Max 95s. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.